Arkansas sports talk station.
Because this is a proud damn state.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
You can actually feel Razorback Stadium shaking underneath our feet right now.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
We're coming for the whole damn thing.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Inside the 20, inside the 10, Burks is going to score! Touchdown, Arkansas!
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
All right, there's a lot going on today, and there's going to be a lot going on today on National Signing Day 2020. Is college football programs across the country who have not been able to meet any of these recruits one-on-one over the last 10 months are now getting some pen to paper. Fax machines are rolling once again. I guess that's a joke more than anything. I don't think the fax machine thing is necessarily the way that it all has to be done now.
I'd be curious if you still fax your letters of intent in.
I think you can, but I think it can really be done in various ways now.
Google Docs, Google Forms.
It's the only thing that keeps fax machines still viable in today's age. Couldn't you just send a PDF via email to the coach and say, this is how I'm going to do it? But why mess with tradition? You know, we got to keep those. We got to keep the that paper that just rolls up still being manufactured by the paper companies, and keep the fax machines going too. But I mean, there's a lot to keep track of on a normal signing day. This is not a normal signing day for so many reasons, and one of those reasons, and we've gotten into this conversation a lot on your ESPN Arkansas and ESPN 99.5 affiliates in the last few days. Because you're going to end up with seniors that choose to stay, and you've got an incoming class. Now, I mean, there are 16 seniors right now that Arkansas theoretically could have return. There's going to be a few of them that decide not to because they just want to start whatever's next in their life. There are some others that are looking right now pretty good for going in the NFL draft in a pretty good slot. And then there are some others that, you know, might want to come back because they just love playing college football or want to get another degree. And then there are others that could maybe improve that draft stock. But that doesn't stop the incoming players. So it's, you know, this incoming class of 2021 in which Arkansas has 20 commits and hoping to get them all signed today. Could be a couple of extras. And you've already added to the recruiting class, one that came a little bit out of nowhere last night. Penn State defensive back is committed to transfer to Arkansas, and so you're going to have a little bit more in this recruiting class. So, by the way, one great place to get all of your recruiting news for the Razorbacks in one spot, if you do have that Rivals subscription. Nikki's got a really good page going right now that pretty much keeps everything updated as it happens.
This is probably Nikki's Christmas present, isn't it?
Well, and
I mean, this is what she lives for.
This is what any recruiting expert and specialist lives for. It used to be they would live for, you know, the first week of February. Now that's such a last moment thought. Although you can see plenty of flips in the next, you know, in the upcoming weeks, and maybe there will be some more flips, maybe more than expected because recruits haven't been able to come to campus. I don't know, but, you know, it's funny that you say it's like a Christmas present because we've got Bill King coming on later today, of course, from Nashville Sports Radio. He is a guru on recruiting, pretty much wrote the book on how to do recruiting radio in college football, and for years, Bill has hosted an event called Commitmas on today. You know, they haven't been able to do it. I guess in Nashville there's a rule that bans any sort of gathering for more than 8 people. So have fun at the Music City Bowl. So he wasn't able to do it. But I've also seen, like, there's now I saw Lane Kiffin put a photo of some sort of an ugly Christmas sweater that said this word on it. Eli Drinkwitz at Mizzou has used the same term. And maybe Arkansas will be able to get in on the idea of now this not just being like commitmas, but flipmas. Did you see that? Did you see the photo that Kiffin put out? It's an ugly Christmas sweater, says Happy Flipmas, and I think the P is in the shape of Mississippi. And I thought Drinkwitz came up with that first, or at least that's the first one I read it this morning. But, it's interesting because now Auburn's recruiting class is decimated. These are kids that are looking to play in the SEC, and let the vultures swoop in. That's part of recruiting now, and it's not negative recruiting. It's just the idea, the knowledge, the fact that there are kids that are going to flip, especially when the coach that they committed to was fired, and you really don't know what that program's going to look like right now. So maybe it can be flipmas for the Razorbacks too.
Well, I think it's important for the Razorbacks to get these guys signed on the dotted line like they have today and had several letters of intent turned in that way. They are locked in, ready to rock and roll for the Razorbacks, and it's been a successful day so far. You've had a lot of the positions that we've talked a lot about that's going to be, I don't know if decimated is the right word, but it's going to need a lot of help heading into next season. The linebacker core, and right on cue when you get when signing day started, back-to-back linebackers coming in, signing in with Christopher Paul Jr. and then Marco Avant signing in, and I was within the first 2 hours of it. You've had a lot of defensive help for this team at cornerback. I mean, you had Keon Parker, safety Jaden Johnson, another corner in Chase Lowry. You added the pair of quarterbacks that we've talked a lot about previously in Lucas Coley and Landon Rogers. Tied in Aaron Outley. You got a lot of offensive help. I think where you might see the difference in the fruits of the labor for this recruiting team, offensive and defensive line. You had Terry Wells sign in. You had Cole Carson sign in as well. And then another pair of defensive tackles in Solomon Wright and Devin Manuel.
Well, and so we're supposed to have, what would this be, 5 commitments during halftime today from 11 to 1? Solomon Wright, Terry Wells, Cole Carson, Jaden Johnson, Marco Avant. And then you'll have your last signing at 5:30. Keon Parker, Raheem Sanders, who I know is a really exciting athlete, is signing at 3. There's already been, could you say this is a surprise? Perhaps. Got a defensive tackle out of Jones College in Ellisville, Mississippi. Jalen Williams will join Arkansas and obviously be able to play next year as a JUCO player. But you got a defensive tackle coming out of JUCO ball, and Nikki also has been expecting, I guess this could happen anytime soon, right around now, Cameron Ball, who's the defensive tackle picking between Arkansas and Georgia Tech. She's had her eye on Ball for a long time now, 6'5", 302-pounder out of East Point, Georgia. So we should check and see if maybe he's made his choice right now, because he was supposed to have a ceremony at 11 o'clock. So that would be a nice get for the Razorbacks, too, because, I mean, you can never have too much depth on the at the line of scrimmage on either side. So bring in as many as you possibly can. And maybe we'll be able to get an update on Jalen Williams not on Jalen Williams, but on Cameron Ball.
Now, some of these guys
all goes through.
Some of these guys that you mentioned, I think some of them might have already have sent in their letters of intent, so they're probably more or less
it's just
committed. Now it's the presentation to get their social media cred and let mommy and daddy and grandma, grandpa, if they're able to attend, and get the photo ops and get everything ready to rock and roll for social media. It's a big day. I mean, it's for the amount of players that you're able to get signed right now. This team has done some work, and I don't know. You're not going to know if these guys are going to be able to start game 1 for the team next season. But this is the fruits of the labor, and every issue we've talked about, particularly on the defensive side of the football and on the line play, they've been addressed a little bit here.
Good. So we'll be updating that as we go throughout the show. Of course, the college football playoff committee came out with their rankings yesterday, and man, there is a serious discrepancy between, and it's not 1 through 5. It's not 1 through 5. The committee and the AP and coaches polls they're not identical 1 through 5, but they have the same teams. But once you get to number 6, you got some really interesting discrepancies. So I want to get into that after the break. Plus, I don't know if you saw this, but San Jose State snuck into the college football playoff rankings.
Who's their quarterback?
Nick Starkel.
Oh, that's right.
He had himself a pretty darn good
year.
Hell
yeah, he has. He's had a really good year.
When you separate his 1 year at Arkansas compared to the other 3 years he played college football, he had a pretty good career, just not at Arkansas. Plus, we've got Clay Henry coming on in 20 minutes, Bill King at 12:30. Your calls and texts throughout the show at 877-377-6963. And change my mind to wrap up the show today, and I kind of wonder if you were listening to the Morning Rush today and our buddy Ty Richardson, I got to give him cred on this because I've never heard a cheeseburger described with the adjective as creamy. I've heard the cheese described as creamy, never the burger itself. So I don't know. I'm wondering if Ty might change my mind about that. We'll see. Stay with us today. It is Commitmaka because this is the 6th day of Hanukkah.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot, you know.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool, and Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fitzman. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fitzman can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fitzman can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fitzman and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
And a great team environment with growth opportunities. Apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Christmas time is here, and it's time to see the folks at the Breen RV Center in Van Buren. Go check out the new inventory arriving weekly so you can make your Christmas time extra special this year by purchasing your dream trailer. The only dealer that gives you maintenance for life for free. Breen RV can service all RV makes and models. Give them a call at 262-2418 or check them out online at breenrv.com. Mention you heard this on ESPN Arkansas and get an extra $500 cash back when you buy a new or used RV. Merry Christmas from Breen RV.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Nothing would thrill me more greatly than to shoot you. Knocking off a youngster ain't gonna mean all that much to me. But since we're in a hurry, I'll make a deal with you. You throw down your camera, and we won't hurt you. Promise? I cross my heart and hope to die. Okay, kid. Give it to me.
Direct. Want more halftime? Make sure to listen to the Halftime Pod, presented by Jeff's Clubhouse, Fort Smith's premier place for lunch, brunch, and catering. Give them a call at 479-308-9123. The Halftime Pod is available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Every time you call me dear.
Well, we see on Nikki Chavanel's Twitter feed, Cameron Ball is a Razorback.
Yeah, Craig and Greenwood just texted us that as well, so that's a big
hit. I guess Craig was right there on Nikki's Twitter feed. Either that, or he was watching the ceremony that Ball was camming.
Had offers from Georgia Tech, Florida State, Tennessee, Missouri, among many, many others.
I like that comeback we just played.
You're welcome. That was good. Thank you.
I didn't say.
Sorry. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate
I just said I liked it. I didn't thank you for it.
Well, the Hogs have had their eye on Ball for a long time, and credit to Nikki, because she said for the last few weeks that she was picking Arkansas for his services. So that'll take the signing class up to 22. Here it was yesterday. We're talking about 20 signees, SmackDown. So you're part of the rankings for the sign for these commitment classes, or for these incoming classes, are based upon the number of commitments that you get. So Arkansas had the 9th rated class according to Rivals yesterday in the SEC, and I don't know if that'll change automatically right now, just based upon the idea that you got 2 more, but you're definitely trending upward. Definitely trending upward, and as Auburn continues to fall, maybe Arkansas gets a chance to rise a little bit. It is a shock to look at least the recruiting rankings for 2021 on Rivals and see Auburn all the way down at number 13. Got Arkansas still 9th, ahead of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt ahead of.
Oh, you're talking SEC. Okay, I was.
SEC.
Okay,
right.
SEC.
Not at the bottom of the barrel in college football, but
do you know where when you look all across college football, they're 52nd.
Wow.
Colorado's ahead of them. Baylor, Kansas State, Syracuse is ahead of Auburn right now. My voice cracked. Sorry, excuse me. But when you look at it right now, Arkansas sitting in the national rankings 22nd right now, which that may not have been updated quite yet with the signing of Cameron Ball. But yeah, 22nd for a second-year head coach for a team that's won, 7 games in 3 years.
Well, and also, so look at where these 2 extra players are, where their positions are. The JUCO guy hopefully can contribute immediately. Right? There's not too many freshman defensive linemen that can contribute, but this Cameron Ball has got some serious size as a high school senior. I mean, 6'5", over 300 pounds already. But they only had 1 defensive tackle in the class before today, and I mean that's a position, or at least on the line there. I feel like you've got to be bringing in multiple players. Absolutely. On the offensive line and a defensive tackle every year. And they've done that now. You have 3 offensive linemen in the class and 3 guys that will play on the defensive line too. So good. All right, let's get into this college football playoff rankings thing, because I feel like there is – we've got a phone call.
We got our man Cody's hanging on the line.
Well, okay, good. I don't want – I'm assuming Cody wants to talk some recruiting. Maybe he wants to talk a little college football playoff too. So let me just mention this here. It's so interesting to see how the committee values essentially playing in a big conference. I mean, Cincinnati right now, 9th in the playoff poll, 6th in both the AP and coaches polls. Iowa State 6th in the playoff poll, 8th in the media and coaches polls. Florida, I don't get this at all.
I don't either.
I don't get it at all. Maybe the committee is looking that they didn't have Kyle Pitts. That's the only thing I can think of. 7th in the playoff poll, 11th in the AP and coaches polls. Georgia, 8th in the playoff poll, 9th to the coaches, 10th to the media. And then, look at Indiana. This is flipped in this case. Indiana, the coaches and the media have got them ranked 7th. Playoff committee's got them ranked 11th. I would like to get into everybody on the committee's mind here, and just I wonder, why is there such a discrepancy between the way that the coaches and the AP voters view Iowa State and Florida and Cincinnati compared to the playoff committee?
Well, the one thing I'm curious about looking at, too, and we can dig in this later. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Miami was ranked 10th when they took on North Carolina, correct?
I think so,
I think it was
yes.
10. So we'll just say 10. Well, yeah, I guess if they dropped 8, so yeah, 10. So it was 10 versus 17. Now, granted, Miami got blown out by North Carolina. Florida only lost by 3. But when you kind of compare the two, Florida lost by 3 to an unranked team. Miami got blown up by the 17th ranked team in the country. Miami dropped 8 spots. So, what's the difference in the I know the teams are different. North Carolina was ranked. LSU was not. The teams are totally different. But the losses kind of, to me, add up the same. You'd lose by 3 to an unranked team versus getting blown out by the 17th ranked team.
LSU also looks a lot better right now than they did early in the season. That's got to be part of it. Maybe that's it. Sometimes you look at rankings, and a win over a top 25 team in September doesn't necessarily mean that team is ranked again at the end of the season. That's why those polls don't matter at all to me. All right, let's get Cody on the phone here. Hey, Cody, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. Hey, I got a couple things. So about the conference and the playoff rankings and all that. Let's do this. Let's pull up Cincinnati's biggest win of the year, or the strength of schedule, and let's pull up the top 6 strength of schedules and the wins they had this year. That's truly the most honest way you can compare teams, in my opinion. Cincinnati, I guess you're not going to say that they're that great of a team, but they did that with Miami. Miami got blown off the field, and Miami really hasn't played anyone this year. This is why this year this is bad for football as a whole, because you don't have Cincinnati upsetting maybe some other top, like a big-time team in a big, strong Power 5 conference, which they are, but they're not getting that upset win that would probably propel them into that ranking. Coastal Carolina didn't really get to knock off a big-name team that maybe would have been on their schedule this year that could have propelled them. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it, but what I've noticed with the playoff committee is that strength of schedule, in my opinion, is really what they base their logic on. And really, that's the only thing that's logical. You're going to go out there and say, oh, boy, that team looks good. They look good in their uniforms. They can throw it deep really well, and their defense is all right. No, you look at the numbers. You look at the strength schedule against their competition, and that's all you need. There's no argument from anyone that Texas A&M is the top 5 team. Now, my question on this is, if Notre Dame gets blown out by Clemson, I believe Texas A&M has played better games and has won more important games than what Notre Dame has. I think that they played Clemson that one game. They didn't have their starting quarterback, which, Phil, you didn't think was that great of a deal, or you thought that backup was good enough to really get them by. There's a huge difference when Trevor Lawrence is out on that field, plus the defensive players they had out. I think there's a big argument there. But that strength of schedule as far as getting your top 5 or your top 10 teams with the playoff committee, I think it's lies in strength of scheduling.
Well, there's highly valid points there, and Cincinnati hasn't played for 2 weeks, and they've dropped in the polls because they haven't been able to go out and show anything to the committee. And they did have a game against Tulsa that was supposed to be scheduled last weekend, and they'll get them again they're supposed to get them this Saturday as long as things go well in that championship game. And the Clemson Notre Dame thing, for me, I feel like Notre Dame is in. I really do. And I try to pronounce his quarterback's name, Uiagalelei.
Uiagalelei.
Yeah.
Clemson didn't lose that game because they couldn't move the ball.
No.
That's not why they lost that game. Notre Dame was able to move the ball against them, and that's a very impressive Notre Dame defense too. So, look, is Clemson better with Trevor Lawrence on the field? Yes. Or are they not? Are they still really good with Uiagalelei on the field? I think they're pretty damn good with him on the field too. You can't take that win away from Notre Dame either.
I don't know. Was it at Clemson as well, or was it at Notre Dame?
I was at Notre Dame. I still don't view that as that it lowers the importance of it. They were.
Well, hey, let's make some. You guys are betting, man. Let's make some kind of bet that Clemson. I think Clemson will blow out Notre Dame in the conference championship game. Is that a bet you'd be willing to take?
Blow out.
I think
I'm gonna have to have some. I gotta have to have a couple of. I have to have a couple of days to look at this. I don't even know what the line is on it. And we only bet punishments. We only bet punishments.
Hey, real quick, I have to say this. SmackDown, he's on a pedestal where he can call out coaches when they have bad performances.
Yes.
SmackDown's performance at the Cantina was terrible.
Okay. Hey,
thanks for bringing that up.
Hey, and how much longer till you have to watch The Exorcist?
Okay,
we
all right,
Coach. Guys.
That's enough out of you, Cody. I just dropped you. You're done.
Thank you, Cody. I agreed with definitely the last 30 seconds of your phone call, no doubt about it.
When he said y'all are betting men, did he mean you're degenerate gamblers?
I think so, but you know how we do it, Maddie. It's all about punishments for the loser.
That's
the
right.
winner gets nothing but the joy of watching the loser wriggle in pain and anguish, because that's the kind of friends we are.
That's the true.
Why did he have to bring up Chaos in the Cantina? Of all days, it's commitments. Come on.
I had almost forgot about it. I'm glad he brought it up.
Oh, dear God.
Chaos in the Canteen will never be forgotten. And Clay Henry's with us next.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. And with our top-rated app, you can bank anytime, anywhere, making Capital One an even easier decision.
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
New consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Your number one Arkansas fan, Auto Owners Insurance and Kohler & Green Insurance is a winning combination. We will work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Kohler & Green Insurance in Fort Smith. Call 484-9888. And Kohler & Green Insurance in Van Buren. Call 474-9888 today or online at kohlergreen.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Whether you've learned to work from home, manned a testing site in a parking lot, tried to fulfill pickup orders, cooked food for curbside pickup, or stayed awake all hours wondering how you're going to make payroll, if you've made it this far into 2020, you've got true grit. And it's time that you had gear that performs as hard as you do. We've got the gear you need to finish strong in 2020. Let's cross this finish line together at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Mazard Road, is the only locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith and wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
This is ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP, at Matt Travis, and at Matt Jenkins 44. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
It's a nice little mix of holiday cheer with a nice thick beat.
Nice thick beat.
Thank you for this.
You're welcome. I was telling Maddie, I played this for, I was announcing, I think it was a Christmas tournament or something. Didn't tell the kids I was playing it. They lost their mind when this trap remix and everything started playing, and they were just vibing with it.
That's what it's all for a DJ when they start losing their mind.
Absolutely.
Clay Henry has not lost his mind. He's with us right now, publisher and editor of Hogs Illustrated. Clay, how's your frigid morning on the Norfolk River?
Hey, this is down in a little hole. You've got hills all around, and the cold air is just sunk down in here, and I'm ready for the sun to come out, maybe this afternoon.
I'm sure. I'll ask you a fishing question every once in a while, and we'll get into all the football stuff too. But have you ever ice fished?
No, I've talked to Frank Ragnow about that. He does that in Minnesota, and it was hilarious. The best story I heard from him about ice fishing is that this was after he'd been drafted and, obviously got his payday. I don't think he'd signed, but is that, what happens is as soon as you're drafted, the agent gives you a debit card and, okay, they know you're good for a first round pick. You're good for millions. So you get a nice debit card and you're able to, take care of your needs. And so he got an update, like a iPhone 10 or whatever the latest one was, and he's ice fishing, and he catches a fish, and he gets his phone out to take a picture. You don't know what you have until it comes up the hole, right? And that phone just, his hands are cold. It slips straight out, and it goes straight down the hole.
Oh, no.
That would be – it could hit anywhere, but it hit in that 6-inch hole or whatever that hole is, and it went straight down, gone.
Where would be the closest place to go ice fishing in Arkansas would be?
Well, I think you'd get in your car and you'd drive about 12 hours straight north.
You better drive to Minnesota.
That's why I didn't know if it'd be Minnesota or I didn't. Okay.
South
in your
Dakota.
Freezer.
No, I mean North Dakota maybe. It'd have to be probably they're not frozen solid yet up there. You'd have to be in close to the Arctic Circle at this point. I mean, we're still mid-December, but in January I think you can probably go out there and sit in your little huts. One of my favorite movies is Walter Matthau and
Grumpy Old Men.
Jack Lemmon. Yeah, and they're ice fishing, and that's the best visual that you could make, and they've got their little heaters out there, and I'm sure it's not that bad. When you're in a shack and you've got a heater, and it's kind of like some of these fancy duck clubs where they've got a grill and they're cooking breakfast while you're out there. So it's not like, it's like okay, not you got to take your gloves off to eat the food, and your fingers can get cold there, but it isn't bad. So
I just remember I love that movie for so many reasons, and two of those reasons are Sophia Loren and Anne Margaret, my friend.
Yeah, it's a good
all right,
movie.
Let's get into some of this recruiting stuff here, because you've got today's a big day. It's Commitmica, Flipmas, whatever it is you want to call it. And
it's now they're yours. They signed.
Right, they're yours now. So, but today already you have two signees that we didn't know about coming into the day. I think a lot of people might have expected that Cameron Ball would become a Razorback, but he weren't sure. He hadn't committed. He signs. He's a defensive tackle. The JUCO defensive tackle. So we're seeing adding to a position group. One of them hopefully can play for you next year on that defensive line. But we've talked so much about how the necessary rebuild is a long rebuild, but it's at the line of scrimmage, and that's what these two signees that sort of didn't come out of nowhere, but weren't part of the 20 signees. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that gives them 3 defensive linemen with Solomon Wright from Oklahoma, and the junior college guy, you know, Jalen Williams, I think is him, and he's the number 1 junior college defensive lineman, and those guys typically play right away. I mean, he's going to be here in January, which is critical. You know, it's really tough sometimes. You get these junior college guys, and I remember Dorian Gerald gets to school the day the practice starts, and then he's got to sit out 3 days, you know, that do the acclimation and the physical and all that, and then he's just behind. I mean, he didn't have a proper weight program, so the fact that this guy from Mississippi Junior College is going to be here in January is huge to get him in the weight program and acclimated.
I was going to say Jalen Williams is he's a big old boy. He's 6'3", 310 pounds is Jalen Williams. We got Clay Henry here with us on halftime. Clay,
I think we just lost Clay.
Did we lose Clay?
He's not there. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we can get Clay back here connected again. But yeah, Phil, I mean, talking about Jalen Williams and that defensive line. I mean, you've added Cameron Ball, 6'5", 303 pounds. Jalen Williams, 6'3", 310 pounds. On the offensive line, Devin Manuel, 6'9", 292. You're adding some beef up front. And maybe not – I mean, obviously you want the height, but you want the beef that way they can block better and give K.J. Jefferson, Malik Hornsby, or whatever quarterback ends up starting for this team next season.
And the other one of the other things that stands out about this incoming class, it is really balanced between offense and defense. You know, I mean, you've got – I think it was I did it by position groups yesterday, and this was before the announcements of Jalen Will of the JUCO defensive tackle. I can't remember his name. I'm gonna have to remember his name a little more often here. And Cameron Ball. So you've got now 3 defensive tackles, 3 defensive backs, 3 linebackers. Nice and symmetrical. I think that's the word Clay used, and I think I hear Clay again. Clay, you back with us?
Yeah, you're symmetrical. You like that, huh?
I do like that. It's a great geometrical term.
Well, and that's the critical aspect. And you got to fill needs, and they did that. But they signed a quarterback. They signed the number 1 kicker in the country. They've got a preferred walk-on commitment from the number 1 long snapper. There's, you look at the list, and sometimes it says athlete, sometimes it said wide receiver. But in any respect, there's maybe 3 of these guys, maybe 4 that return kicks. And that was once they lost Devion Warren, and I think Burks got his knee banged up, and they decided not to use him. They've got more guys that can return kicks, so their special teams should get better. 4 cornerback / safeties, 2 or 3 linebackers, depending on how you read one of them. I think that Christopher Paul, the linebacker from Georgia, it was really critical, and was really close friends with Cameron Ball, and I think that was you get him at the end, probably because of Paul. These guys, and their speed throughout. I mean, it's an SEC class now. It's better than what they've been doing, and I think it's symbolic of what you get. When Sam Pittman and his staff gets a full year to recruit. I really like Terry Wells from Wynn, offensive tackle. Was probably rated higher last year than he was this year, and you never know about how Arkansas kids are rated, but I think that he was the first commitment, and really is a talented offensive tackle, and I'm excited about where they're going on both sides of the ball in the line, the trenches, and that's where I look every week and to see how you match up, and Arkansas needed some help there.
Got about a minute left in the segment here. I want to ask a question that JT asked, and I could kind of answer his question too, I think. He asked if now that you got a couple of defensive tackles on the class, do you think that perhaps next year, if Barry Odom wants, you could do 4-down linemen up front or still be 3-down line because the depth is not there? And I think my answer would be it really depends on which seniors are coming back.
Yeah, I think it all depends on, it's like where do these guys, how quickly are they able to play? You think that they'll be able to play fast? I think that maybe you can play 4, but it's they're getting closer to that. And it also depends on who those other guys that you want. You get your best 11 on the field, Phil.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. All right, stick around for another segment with us, Clay. Don't forget that if you own a business that needs more security or needs more curb appeal, get on the horn and call the fence man at 479-782-3936. Nobody does it any better in custom installations and things like gates, controlled access card readers. Fence man will be there for a quick, no obligations quote if you call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man is a division of Quantum Property Services. All right, we got Clay for another segment. If you got a question for him, get it to us at 877-377-6963. Halftime, back after this quick break.
Socks. What kind of shameful gift is that? Take pride in your generosity this year and give them the key to the promised land. Gift cards from Buffalo Wild Wings. And when you spend $25 on gift cards before December 31st, you get $5 bonus on us. This is just one of the ways that Buffalo Wild Wings is getting you ready for the holiday season. If free wings doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. So quit creating future laundry for your loved ones unless it's covered in wing sauce. Offer valid at participating locations. See Buffalo Wild Wings for details or visit online at buffalowildwings.com.
Roar! Tommy Craft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith or Jim Malum in Charleston about Shelter's home insurance.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Looking for that perfect gift for your off-road enthusiasts? Come get you some. The largest 4x4 shop in the state with the most in-stock inventory is the place to shop. They have everything from power-based soundbars, side-by-side parts, tires, leveling kits, exhaust, and accessories for your Jeep. Need a stocking stuffer? They have gift certificates for that hard-to-buy Ford guy on your list. Stop by today at 2728 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith or call 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. You can also check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Law's Drug is open and ready to safely care for your family. Law's Drug is open 6 days a week and has an easy-to-use drive-thru to pick up your prescriptions or any of their over-the-counter medications or supplements. Or let Law's Drug deliver your medications for free to your home or business. Law's Drug, since 1950 at 6802 Rogers Avenue, behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Are you ready to take the next step? Want to make real money? How about averaging $2,800 per week? United Welding Institute is accepting new students to shape into high-paid career welders. Graduates of United Welding Institute find great-paying jobs in the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, and more. United Welding Institute in Pottsville, Arkansas has been training professional field-tested welders since 2013. Change your life and call 479-968-3390 or visit UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
Hertz Car Sales has been serving the River Valley for over 40 years and takes pride in offering exceptional service. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, crossover, or SUV, Hertz offers a big selection of the most popular brands. They're friendly, offer a no-pressure car shopping experience, and their vehicles are high quality and priced competitively. New inventory is arriving daily and trade-ins are always welcome. So make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard, give them a call at 783-1722, or check out their line of quality pre-owned vehicles at buyfromhertz.com.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
83-78, Arkansas, 7.6 seconds. Baylor again will defend on the backcourt sideline, out of bounds play. Slocum's going to inbound it right in front of Kim Mulkey. Ramirez cuts to the ball, gets it, and they're going to let him dribble it out. How about it? Get your celebration on. The Razorbacks take a bite out of the Baylor Bears. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks, 83-78.
We got Clay Henry for another segment here as SmackDown, the singer.
So, either one of
taking us
y'all
in.
remember 8 tracks?
Of course I remember 8 tracks. When I was born, first few years of my life, my parents' cars had 8-track machines inside, Clay. That was all the rage then.
I think my mom's car had one when I was a kid.
One of my older brother, I said something about when I was in college, like I need an 8-track player for my car, and one materialized. I never knew where he got that, and I really don't want to know. It wasn't brand new, and we installed it, and then I got Johnny Cash and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Those were my
yes.
2 8-tracks.
Man, you're talking 1970s music and great music when you're talking 8
Yeah, this
tracks.
would have been 74, I'm guessing.
So I think you bringing up 8 tracks. I think and I said something to Mom about this. I might be getting a record player for Christmas.
Like a vinyl record
Like a vinyl record player. What would be, what's an old school, like you brought up having Earth, Wind, and Fire and Johnny Cash on the 8-track. What's like a good old school record I should go try to dig up and find?
The Beatles. Get the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's outstanding. It's great no matter how you listen to it. But I grew up listening to my parents' vinyl collection. They had all the Beatles albums. That's my favorite Beatles album.
Led Zeppelin 4.
Led Zeppelin 4.
Oh.
Clay, you got a suggestion for me?
I'm just going to remember what we had at our house when I was in probably junior high. I can remember my mother playing her album. Now, we didn't have any that the kids, I had 3 brothers. We didn't get any records. I mean, we just listened to what she had. She played Pete Fountain, the great, clarinet player from New Orleans. She played Herb Alpert. She loved, and let's see, Al Hurt. That's what I grew up listening to. And guess what? I played the trumpet as a 6th and 7th and 8th grader. I mean, it was just bought and materialized, and you're going to learn how to play the trumpet. And I was like, never was I any good. I mean, I think I might have made 3rd chair, in the band at Pulaski Heights Junior High.
Did you want to be in the Tijuana Brass?
Oh yeah. In one of the coolest things, we went one time to Ensenada, down from San Diego, on the tourist bus trip, and went into a place our family did, and they had I don't know would a mariachi band have to have just 4? What would you call it if they had like 10 trumpet players?
Gosh, that sounds like an ensemble.
And they were there. It was lunchtime, and we were the only people in you'd call it the cantina, and I mentioned that I could play the trumpet, and one of them pointed at me and handed it to him, and I joined, the little group. Yeah.
Gosh, I can't play.
I just hit a couple of notes. Yeah.
Never could play an instrument. Clay, I could imagine Orville was telling you, go out to the garage and practice out there, please. Let me sit in here and think.
So the general
quietly.
manager, at that particular time, the general manager of the Travelers was a trumpet player from St. Louis, and he taught private lessons. And all this was a grand scheme that my dad and my mother had to make me a trumpet player, and it just didn't work. So
And you became a sports writer anyway.
Became a sports writer anyway. Yeah, but my mother did make me take 7th grade typing, which now they call it, what do they call it, keyboarding?
Yeah, that's
but
right.
That was the
Word
best
process.
thing that she ever did for me, yeah. Now, I don't know what questions y'all are going to ask. I just derailed y'all, right?
I was just fine talking
These are the
music.
best conversations.
Yeah, these are always the best stuff. All right, let's get into Auburn for a moment here. Is Kevin Steele going to be the head coach there? Is he just going to be held on as a defensive coordinator, and the next coach is kind of forced to keep him? Auburn's recruiting class is decimated right now. I don't. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen on the Plains?
Who knows? And it might depend on if they can get Hugh Freeze. I mean, if anybody in the SEC can have him back after what he pulled at Ole Miss. And the Kevin Steele stuff, I can't tell if it's window dressing, if it's like, okay, we have to act like we're interested because we sure don't want to lose him as a defensive coordinator, and so let's go through the motions of interviewing him. Or is he now a serious candidate? He's a heck of a coach. He flopped famously at Baylor. I mean, it was just awful. I know him. I covered him, when my Tulsa World days. He was at Oklahoma State briefly, then at Nebraska. I mean, I got a great Kevin Steele story. I mean, he's a first time, just got to Nebraska. Tom Osborne's the coach. They've got a host of All-America defensive ends. I mean, they're 3 deep. First day of spring practice, there's a guy going through the motions. I mean, he's an All-American. He knows what am I out here doing in spring practice? So Kevin Steele goes off on him. I mean, uses all the bad words. And all at once, Tom Osborne is standing behind him. He's like tapping him on the shoulder. He goes, "Coach, we don't talk to our players like that. What do we do?" He says, "You put him over the sidelines and you let the next boy play." And walked away. Oh. And Kevin Steele told that story on himself, and it's amazing. You just look at these guys' resumes and imagine where they've been, who they've been around, and there's some great stories. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and Steele's worked for a whole lot of legends.
Oh yeah.
So let's keep the conversation on coaches here, because do you think that the Arkansas coaching staff can and will stay together for a second year under Sam Pittman? Because I mean, it's a really good coaching staff all the way down, and a lot of people are calling for Scott Fountain's head. He was a great special teams coach at Georgia, and this 1 year at Arkansas probably doesn't change that very much. But I wanted to get your thoughts on, it would be a good thing to keep that coaching staff consistent because they all seem to be somewhat in lockstep together.
Oh, I think it's a really good staff, and I think Scott Fountain will work out just fine. And they just signed the number 1 kicker in the country, and top long snapper, all these punt and kickoff return guys. And I mean, when you looked at their cover teams, I mean, they don't have enough cornerbacks, they don't have enough linebackers. We know that. I mean, it was week to week to get them out there. Well, what do you make up cover teams with? They're all linebackers and cornerbacks and safeties. And you can't put Jalen Catalon out there. I saw him a couple of times on cover teams, but that's when you're playing 80 snaps of defense, and then he's like, okay, we're going to put you on another 15 snaps of special teams. And they played Jonathan Marshall on special teams, which, the LSU game ended up putting him over 100 snaps. So I think that it's as this team gets more depth and they get, you get away from COVID, the special teams are going to get better. And they weren't good. There were issues every week that seemed to be different, but I don't think it's necessarily Scott Fountain.
Clay Henry here with us on Halftime. Clay, we kind of bringing the Auburn conversation back into it, and obviously we've seen coaching changes with them, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. As we stand right now, do you think we're done seeing coaching changes in the SEC, or do you think there's more to come?
Oh, I think that there's still another week of the season, so to speak, but I think that they probably are. I mean, I don't – unless there's somebody that just jumps to another job, you get the domino effect. But I don't think there's going to be any guys fired. I don't think Nick Saban's retiring. I don't think Dan Mullen's not going anywhere from Florida. I mean, it's I guess there could be a job open up that Mark Stoops – would be coveted. I mean, I think he's a really good coach that somebody might grab eventually. That he's done enough at Kentucky to deserve a promotion out of there. But yeah, that's what would have to happen for there to be another change.
Let's see, Clay. Just got a little bit of time left. What do you expect to see Saturday in the SEC championship game? Think Florida can keep it close? Because there hasn't been a single close Alabama game all year long.
No, this is. I think what's happening with Alabama is interesting because early in the year I did not think they were very good on defense, and the Ole Miss game was kind of affirmation of that. But slowly but surely, they have gotten it together and gotten better and better on defense, and I think that they can cause some problems for Florida that LSU caused with their rush, and that was a little different in that Trask was pressured more than he'd been in recent weeks, and that Florida defense has sure got some holes, and they're probably none of their guys are going to throw a shoe this week, but the defense might throw a shoe collectively.
Just imagine what Nick Saban would do if one of his players threw a shoe that cost him potentially a game. Oh, my gosh.
I would pay money to see that.
Yeah. Clay, thanks a lot, man.
I think that's not going to happen. Yeah,
that's doubtful. Doubtful. All
or
right.
me play a trumpet again. That's not going to happen.
Clay, I'm not on next Wednesday, so Merry Christmas. Look forward to
Merry
talking
Christmas
to you in the
to
new year.
you guys, all of you.
Thanks
all
a
four
lot.
of you guys, yeah.
All right, that's Clay Henry from Hogs Illustrated.
SmackDown is 2. He's 2.
Oh, well, come on, Clay. I'll save you for next Wednesday. Don't you worry about that.
Going to crumple the box score. Second hour, halftime next. Stay with us.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7, randallford.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there is a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mostly cloudy sky tonight, a little light snow or sleet possible. An overnight low will drop down low 20s north, upper 20s south. Sunshine on the increase Wednesday, our high near 40. And then Thursday, lots of sun, our high into the upper 40s to lower 50s. Friday, partly sunny, low 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
I hate everything you just said. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Because this is a proud damn state.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
You can actually feel Razorback Stadium shaking underneath our feet right now.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
We're coming for the whole damn thing.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Inside the 20, inside the 10, Burks is going to score! Touchdown, Arkansas!
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
All right, we are with you for the second hour of Halftime. Grab your box score, Smackdown.
Oh, hang on. I got it.
Forgot about this. Got a box score ready to go.
What'd you just crumple up? Was that football?
That was a football box score. It's the last one we'll tear in this calendar year. Guess it all depends on when the bowl game is played. If Arkansas does get a deserved invite to a bowl game, we can tear that box score up to. Wow, I mean tiny little pieces, man. These are the
that's
smallest
confetti
little.
now.
That's right. You're starting a collection for a ticker tape parade for when something special happens.
So we haven't been throwing away our box scores. We've just been putting them into a box, and then when I finish in second place in our picks, Maddie's gonna shower me with our old box scores, and then he's gonna get a vacuum cleaner, pick them up.
Yeah. Well, the cat's out of the bag. The fix is in, my friend. Maddie T and I are colluding for the remainder of our picks. We only have another 3.5 weeks, I guess, because it'll conclude with the college football championship game.
If we're colluding against myself, then I'm damn sure not gonna watch The Exorcist then.
Oh, you've already bought into this. You can't say no.
Oh no, I'll file a grievance.
You can't say no. We'll just take your name off the show. Come on now.
I demand a recount.
The JT wants the meat hooks. You want to give him a couple meat hooks? You might as well. There's no
I don't know
football.
why I did that for him. He hadn't been nice to me in a couple weeks.
He did not notice. He did not mention your nickname either, and he still just calls you Jenkins on other texts that he sends.
Jenkins or Matt from BBS. I'm no longer SmackDown to him anymore.
See what happens when you end up losing an eating contest.
That's fine. I like I said, I accepted it. And by the way, you two have lived up to the billing of, like you said last week, that was going to be the last time we're ever going to mention it. And until today, you guys have been doing.
We
good.
didn't mention it. Cody brought it up.
Now
it's a topic again.
So Cody can get off my lawn today.
So let's see. Should have some more signing ceremonies for a couple of the Razorbacks as we go throughout here. Just want to take another look at Nikki's page. And, well, you've got another part of the 2019 signing class that entered the transfer portal. Chiboise Nwana will no longer be a Razorback. I don't know if Nwana ever got on the field for Arkansas.
I think he saw a little bit in 2019 and nothing this season, and he opted out.
Nwana was a JUCO transfer that came the same time that Myron Cunningham came. I don't think he was as highly touted as Cunningham, but Myron worked out to the point where he may even be draftable in the upcoming draft. He comes back another year, might be able to move up. Nwana, I don't even remember watching him play. I do remember practicing saying his first name just in case. Chiboise Nwana. So, all right, yeah, he's in the portal, and that's the one bit of news we've got here. Rivals will have a one-on-one interview with Cameron Ball. That'll be something to pay attention to. And the class is complete, according to Nikki, with 21 high school signees, 1 JUCO, and 1 grad transfer.
And
the grad transfer is the defensive back from Penn State.
And I also think I saw where she said the guy that is transferring out of Arkansas does not open another spot for another signee to come in, if I understood that correctly.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I think I saw a tweet from, it was either from her or from Hutch. One of the two. One of them said that him transferring out of Arkansas does not open another spot because I think he was a graduating senior or an opted out player, something along those lines.
Well, one nice aspect about the roster situation is you don't have any seniors that are in the secondary. Your secondary has no seniors at all. So you're not going to lose anybody out of that position group. All your defensive backs and your safeties are able to come back another year. I guess Micah Smith is one. Yeah, Micah Smith is the one senior. He missed most of the season with an injury. And now you get this defensive back from Penn State, Trent Gordon, who can play immediately. 291 snaps last year. 195 of them at cornerback, according to PFF. 20 tackles, 5 pass breakups. And then moved to safety in the offseason and only had 10 snaps total this season on kickoff coverage. That was it for 3 games. And it doesn't say anything about an injury, but he's going to be with Arkansas. And just looking at my notes on the recruiting class coming in, there are 3 defensive backs already in this recruiting class. So. And there's some of that depth right there that Clay was talking about, that maybe some of these guys don't necessarily contribute at that position their first year, but you do get more depth and hopefully more athleticism on special teams, on your kickoff units and your punt coverage, because it really was amazing to look. And the stats are too far out of my reach right now to look, but the amount of kick return yardage allowed by Arkansas compared to the numbers that they generated on kick and punt returns was astronomical. Astronomical. That's got to change next year.
I'm curious, give us your thoughts, and if you want to text and kind of give us your thoughts out there, it's 877-377-6963.
Oh, my gosh, this is a great text out of the 479 about Chiboyzi Nwana. He says he no wanna play anymore. That's dad joke stuff right there, but I am a dad, and I make dad jokes too. So,
what's the best dad joke you've ever said?
I can't even remember. It's just so full of bad humor. How often do you listen to the things I say on this very show, SmackDown?
That's a good point. I listen in depth to you. Of this position groups that you've seen out of this recruiting class, who do you think is going to make the biggest impact the quickest? Is it going to be the defensive tackles?
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't had my eye on these guys enough at all, really, to know. It's always a crapshoot, and that's one thing we have to remember going into National Signing Day and everything surrounding recruiting. It feels like such a crapshoot sometimes. I don't know. I mean, we asked Nikki who could contribute immediately. And I don't even remember what her answer was. I am interested in this kicker. You've got the nation's top kicking recruit, Cameron Little, coming in this next season. Maybe he's somebody that can contribute early. I mean, just because you're a freshman, for me, and a lot of other position groups, you'll have trouble contributing. Kicker, not one of those positions.
No, if you can kick, you can do it. It's just one of those things. It makes just the kind of. I'm really curious to see how these defensive tackles get into the fold, because you've had, and even crossing over into the offensive line. Defensively, though, and I mentioned this prior to the segment with Clay, you've added a lot of beef on that defensive line. Lot of 280 pounders, 300 pounders. You've had a lot of power to that defensive line.
Sean asks about do you think Solomon Wright stays at tackle or move to linebacker? This thing's 5'10", 275.
Solomon's 6 foot 270.
It's a little slim on the D line. So I mean, hey, that's why you come into school early and get on that eating plan immediately. I mean, that's the first thing they do is start packing on the good weight, not the nasty bad weight,
not the SmackDown weight.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it like that.
No, I didn't know. You didn't mean that. I'll pick on myself for a second.
All right. Well, I'm never going to be the one that pokes fun at you for being large, but you will be the one who pokes fun at himself for being
That's fine.
large.
I accept my flaws.
That's why we love you so much. So, all right, if that's the class, then there will be no flips coming to Arkansas. They already knew who's going to sign today, or who did sign. And if they said that's our class, our 22, then that's it.
So now do we turn our attention to the grad transfer market? I guess,
you already got one. You already got one. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if there'll be another one coming. By the way, Clay Henry says he thinks Wright stays at defensive tackle.
I would. And if Clay says it, I would definitely agree with that for the text that just came in asking that, Sean in Greenwood. It'll be anxious. I'm curious to see, like, are they truly done on the recruiting maybe obviously on the high school trail. Do you maybe try to pull another grad transfer in with players that opt out and decide to leave?
Well, and also as far as, like, who can contribute immediately, can anybody from this last recruiting class contribute immediately this year or the year before? It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
It is pretty rare. You got to get to a certain size to play in the SEC. They say it's a man's game in this league, and you don't always get men immediately on the recruiting class. Hey, still got a couple days left. Enter the Champion Cycling Giveaway at hitthatline.com. You see free bike top of the page. Click the link, leave your info. You're entered. One winner wins a specialized Alley road bike, and another winner wins a specialized 12-inch Rip Rock kids bike. Brought to you by Champion Cycling in Fort Smith. ChampionCycling.com to see the inventory. Also at 5500 Massard Road in Fort Smith. Get with us on halftime, 877-377-6963.
I love Arkansas. I love everything. Yeah, give me that thing. Yeah.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot,
Only on ESPN 95.3.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours at Frank Rowe Furniture. For the month of December, all appliances on sale at Frank Rowe Furniture. French doors, side-by-side, and top-mount freezer refrigerators. Dishwashers, 5 cubic foot chest and 14 cubic foot upright freezers. Electric coil and smooth top ranges. 4, 5, and 6 burner gas ranges. 100% made in the USA Speed Clean. Conservator made by Whirlpool, and Hot Point made by GE washers and dryers. All appliances on sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fitzman. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fitzman can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fitzman can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fitzman and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Deliver your medications for free to your home or business. Laws Drug, since 1950 at 6802 Rogers Avenue, behind Outback Steakhouse. Laws Drug, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Ho, ho, ho! What do you know, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've cooked up the perfect way to beat the 2020 blues. This month, you can jingle all the way home in one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keeping the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, and you won't just begun.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
SmackDown, thanks for the John Lennon.
Of course, my friend. That's what I'm here for.
A week ago was the 40th anniversary of his assassination.
Should have played it then. I didn't even think about it.
We even talked about it. Well, you didn't know. You didn't know until I brought it up. Oh, okay.
This is an underrated Christmas song.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of John Lennon stuff is a little underrated. As crazy as it is to think. 877-377-6963 to get on halftime. We have Bill King coming up in the next segment. I'm going to get Bill's thoughts on Heisman Trophy. When's the Heisman awarded this year? Everything's been pushed back. It's usually the day after the Army-Navy game. We already had that. So when will the Heisman Trophy votes have to be cast? I'm assuming after the championship games, but obviously these get done before the bowl games. So my guess is, hey, maybe you got to get your Heisman votes in Sunday or Monday. That's what it sounds. That's what it seems to me.
The Heisman Trophy will be announced on January 5th, a Tuesday night.
Wow, that's late.
It's very late.
Okay. I wonder about Devontae Smith. I was talking with Jason Carroll about that. Jason's a voter, and he can't. He can tell you what he's thinking about. And to me, there's not so much separation between the best quarterbacks in college football. I mean, you can make your statistical points for both Kyle Trask and Mac Jones, even Trevor Lawrence, but I think that'd be more based upon the entire body of his career's work. But it's such a quarterback-oriented award now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you know the last wide receiver to win the Heisman was Desmond Howard, 1991 for Michigan? And I feel like Devontae Smith has separated himself from the rest of the big-time wide receivers in college football. I mean, he's got more receiving yards than anybody else by over 150. He's second in receiving touchdowns. He is seventh in overall touchdowns scored. And we, could see his impact on the game, even though Arkansas held him to the 3 catches last Saturday. But that punt return, those are some jets. Anyway, I mean, I feel like he's the one other player outside of a series of quarterbacks that
could make some noise,
is getting buzz, and is a legit contender to win that award this year.
So the deadline to vote is going to be December 21st. On Christmas Eve, they're going to announce the Heisman finalists.
Okay.
And then on January 5th will be the virtual Heisman ceremony.
And it's all done virtually.
Yep.
As everything is done virtually.
Do you remember,
these days.
Real quick before we head to the phones, do you remember the last non-quarterback to win the Heisman? Offhand?
Derrick Henry.
Very good.
Yeah.
Derrick
Henry, who could run over any of the more recent winners. By the way, speaking of all virtual events, baseball's winter meetings are happening right now, and I used to love going to the winter meetings. I would go as a job seeker or then just as a representative of the team that I was working for. But it's really, we're not signing free agents and making trades and everything. It's really just an excuse for the industry to get together and drink for 4 days, and it was just a lot of fun. So now it's like virtual happy hour for everybody. And Scott Boras held his annual press conference, but had to do it over Zoom. And if you were to point to somebody connected to Arkansas sports in any way that has had such an outsized influence on another sport, you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody outside of Scott Boras. Scott Boras played for the Arkansas Travelers for a year or two in the 1970s. He flamed out as a minor league baseball player, but he certainly did not flame out as a player agent. He's the most influential player agent in baseball, and he might be the most influential person in the sport. All right, who's the most influential caller on our show? I mean, I'd say there were some people that would vote for this guy. There'd be others that wouldn't. Eddie in Clarksville is on halftime. Hi, Eddie. How are you?
Good day, gentlemen. As I was looking this morning on the recruiting ranking, as always, the top dog recruiting as always is Mighty Bama. I don't know how long Coach Saban is under coach. It doesn't look like he's even contemplating retiring anytime in the future. Certainly, never seen anything. I'm sure the sports world as well seen anything like how he recruits, how he coaches. And definitely it shows in his program. Well, they're going to win the national championship without a doubt this year. I'm not disregarding who's going to be in the college playoffs, but you're going to face Mighty Bama this year, you're going to lose. That's just the way it is. But you look at, I looked at recruiting today. Alabama 1, Ohio State 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. Number 3 is Georgia. 4 was Clemson. And who's slipping in the back door again? LSU at number 5. So you got 2 just in the SEC Western Division that are in the top 5 in recruiting. That doesn't discard over in the East. I don't know where Florida's going to wind up, and you already see where Georgia's at. So you're looking at 5 teams at least, 6 in the top 15 in the country. And so you look at the year in review with the COVID. Yes, Coach Morris. You see what Coach Morris did, and then we bring in the new conductor.
That's called Chad Morris being in your dome, Eddie. You're not the only one.
You know, you see what the new conductor, he got us a couple SEC wins, but I thought we regressed a little bit towards the end of the year. I mean, the rest robbed us against Auburn. I would have liked to got the Missouri win. Special teams definitely has to improve. I've seen what Ole Miss slipping in the back door. What a job Lane Kiffin's doing down there. And recruiting, I think he's at number 20, maybe 19. Where are we going to wind up, sir? What is our overall ranking?
What did we see? I got the rankings up here, 2021 rankings. Arkansas, 22nd, right behind Pitt, right in front of Louisville, 9th in the SEC.
Well, that's a little bit better. Usually we're around, 14th. You know what I'm saying? Dead by 11 to 14. But, yeah, in fairness, you can bring a lot of Power 5 teams into the SEC, especially the SEC Western Division, and you're going to see a lot of teams struggle because it's just the toughness of the game. Like I said, Saban, he's just dominant. What can you say? I've been a Hall fan for over 5 decades, or near 5 decades. I've never, I got to see Coach Bear Bryant, but he didn't recruit as well as Coach Saban. He was just, when will the guy retire? I just don't know. And, but I thought overall, tell me this, I'm excited, is it true, that we might play Texas or Oklahoma State in the Texas Bowl? Because if that were to take place and we could get a win against Texas, I certainly would make me feel better going into next year. I'll hang up. I know a lot of fans, I'll be a Hall fan if they never win a game, but it just seems like we're behind the 8 ball. You know what I mean? In football, you know what I mean? Because you got to face Mighty Bama, and you got to face Coach Saban, and then you can bring Clemson as good as they've played against Bama the last couple of years. But year in and year out, facing Bama and Saban. And then
You're absolutely right, Eddie. You're absolutely right. I want to put you on hold there for a moment because, look, some things are not going to change. As long as Nick Saban is at Alabama, as long as LSU has a football team, they're going to end up with some of the top-rated recruiting classes in the country.
It's
and
just the way it is.
Well, and I think it's for us sometimes it feels like it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to be Alabama that gets the top recruiting class. But, according to Rivals, who had the top recruiting classes in the country each of the last 3 years? It was Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia. Who put those classes together? Who had the title of recruiting coordinator there for the Bulldogs?
Oh, that was Sam Pittman.
Sam Pittman did that. Georgia this year, they have their lowest rated recruiting class in 5 years.
Interesting.
4th in the country. Let's all, break out some handkerchiefs and shed a couple of tears for Georgia dropping from number 1 to number 4 in the rankings. But you know what else? Arkansas moves up from 41st in the Rivals rankings last year. And remember how hard Pittman and that staff had to work just to get that class 2 of the 41st best in the country in a short period of time. They go up to 20th this year. They moved up 21 spots in the Rivals rankings in recruiting classes, while Georgia drops from 1 to 4. That means something. That's Sam Pittman, folks.
It's going to continue to go up all the way to the rest of the time. Hey, make sure you head over to Buffalo Wild Wings this afternoon. Take advantage of the great specials they've got going on, the great wing sauces, all the great options that Buffalo Wild Wings has for you down there. The smoked brisket burger, boneless wings, bone-in chicken wings. They've got it all for you at Buffalo Wild Wings. You can find locations at Fort Smith, Little Rock, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and in Conway, and that's only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
All right, Bill King coming up next. He could not have a commitment. So we're going to talk about some recruiting with the guy who started all of that sort of sports talk next.
All new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Mazard Road, is the only locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith and wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Have a smart speaker? Just say play ESPN Arkansas to listen to halftime anywhere you go.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Sung by choir and folks dressed up like
Christmas tree all aglow. Nice warm cup of eggnog in my hand, and Nat King Cole on the vinyl record player. What a lovely scene. And Bill King on the radio. You can listen to him 6 to 9, Nashville Sports Radio, king of college football talk. And he started recruiting college football sports talk. And so this is a big holiday for Bill. Although, Bill, I know you couldn't celebrate Commitmas the way that you usually would like to with all of your listeners and friends downtown in Nashville, but so it doesn't make it quite as joyous a holiday as usual, does it?
Yeah, we have a big event at the Omni, and this year, at least Nashville gave us a little bit of warning. A couple of weeks back, they put out a new rule. You couldn't have a crowd bigger than 8 people, and that's just one load of people coming in on Uber. We never passed that test, so we had to postpone. We're thinking about something in the spring, but nonetheless, it's all good.
Okay.
All good, guys.
I've seen Eli Drinkwitz and Lane Kiffin try to also refer to today as Flipmas. So have there been an inordinate amount of flips today, if you've been paying attention to it? And what is it about those two programs necessarily that they think that they could get all these guys to flip?
Well, Lane Kiffin's an A-list recruiter. We don't know that about Eli Drinkwitz. I know he's done a pretty solid job briefly there at Missouri, but the recruiting angle of it on this level is unclear with him. We know what Kiffin can do. Kiffin's first class. Guys, Kiffin's only year at Tennessee, which was, 2009, he took the number one running back in America who happened to be in Kansas, who had never even mentioned Tennessee, and on literally short to no notice flipped him. Now, you can question how that happened, but he's an A-list recruiter. Doesn't matter where he's at. And Ole Miss is an attractive place. They flipped a few players. Flipped a tight end, Hudson Wolf, number one ranked tight end, maybe in America out of Tennessee, from Tennessee about 2 weeks ago, too. So, but the flipness thing, I don't think today is out of the ordinary. You always have.
Yeah.
Signing day changes of mind. That's not new. It's just sexy when it gets broadcast
and put on social media, and they love to, that's what Lane Kiffin does. I want to ask about Kiffin later on about something, but more. We went into the break looking at recruiting rankings from the past few years on Rivals, and I don't know which recruiting service you subscribe to more. I've usually been looking at Rivals here. So I mean, Georgia still gets great recruits no matter what, but without Sam Pittman as their lead recruiter, they dropped from 3 years in a row with the top recruiting class in the country to 4th. Now, having the 4th rated class in the country is still something that, Razorback fans would salivate over that, but it also says something about Sam Pittman's ability to recruit to a place like that and to Arkansas.
Yeah. Sam's always been a good recruiter wherever, and I don't think that's going to change at all. But And some of these years are going to fluctuate a little bit. They got a 5-star quarterback in this class, which was key for them, an in-state kid who actually was originally committed to Oklahoma. but an in-state Georgia kid. And look, guys, Kirby Smart's a really good recruiter, but us three could sit in Athens and recruit that state and probably have a top 10 class without sweating it out too much. I mean, they're so geographically advantaged, and they're State U and one of the best states in America. I said this 5 years ago. It's not the Big Three. It's the Big Four. It's California, Texas, Florida, state of Georgia. They're right there. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the talent they have in that state, and it's abundant everywhere. Any corner of that state or in Atlanta you want to go find. But they're always going to have a really good class. There's no Ray Goff, and I don't know how many of you go back, but Ray's a friend of mine. He got the job when Vince Dooley retired simply because he was a good recruiter. He wasn't, guys, even a coordinator. And he didn't win there, but he signed number 1, 2, 3 classes every year. So that's been going on at Georgia, guys, since the beginning of time.
All right, South Carolina's already landed on their new coach. Vanderbilt did the same. A lot of intrigue surrounding Auburn. A lot of people think that they had Hugh Freeze in mind initially. There are others that say he's not even a legit candidate. It's going to be Kevin Steele. You know, you got Lane Kiffin dropping the Nick Saban answer about I'm not going to be the coach at Auburn, so don't ask me. And I'm not quite sure what to think. What do you think about, first of all, Gus being fired? Second, who they could be looking for and who's a legit candidate?
The money people don't like Gus, and the money was not an issue. These people tweeting about how it's a shame people are getting furloughed, which that is sad, absolutely. And now you're paying people off $21.4 million. That's not coming out of the athletic department's piggy bank somewhere in the building. That is the Yellow Pine man, Jimmy Rain, and maybe Tim Cook. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, is an Auburn guy. I don't think he's a big sports guy, but my point is they got money. That's not an issue. That 21.4 is not a problem, and it's not coming at the expense of other employees inside the department. The money people like Kevin Steele. Now, again, the question would arise, why would you fire a guy who's beaten Alabama almost 40% of the time, which nobody can say that about Nick Saban, not even come close. Pay him off $20+ million, and then right down the hall, hire the guy as the successor. That does seem a little bit odd. Kevin Steele, guys, is one of the very first coaches when I got in this business about 1987 who befriended me and became an inside source about recruiting. So I've known him for decades. I don't know if he'd do a good job, but I think he's got a chance more than people think.
Bill King here with us on Halftime. Bill, so what if you're the athletic director at Auburn, what direction are you going to go? Is it a Kevin Steele? Is it a Hugh Freeze? Is it Mario Cristobal? If you're the AD, who are you getting as your next head coach of the Auburn Tigers?
Yeah, I don't get the Cristobal thing other than he's a really good recruiter, which he is. He's not proven a thing as a head coach, so I don't get that. I don't think there's anything. He's going to get more Nike money from Phil Knight just from this flirtation, I'm guessing. But I would target Hugh Freeze. Unless you're hiring Nick Saban or Urban Meyer, there's no sure thing. Those are sure things. There's two of them, probably, on the planet Earth right now. But in today's climate of what Auburn's capable of going and getting, Hugh Freeze is your best bet. Apparently they don't like it, which is their business, their prerogative. But to me, if it's all about let's get this going, let's be really attractive offensively, let's recruit, let's have fun, let's win, to me that's your best bet. But like we said, guys, I don't think anything's happening there. Plus, the word is he's waiting and wanting the Tennessee job, which I still don't think, at least as of now, comes open.
Let's move away from the coaching chat. And earlier in the show, we talked about the college football playoff rankings and how how vastly different they are when you look at the CFP poll versus the other polls with the AP and the coaches poll, and particularly three teams, Iowa State, Florida, and Cincinnati. They're ranked so differently amongst all these polls. And we'll keep it with the SEC. How did Florida, inexplicably losing to LSU the way that they did, only drop one spot in the college football playoff poll, but 4 or 5 in the other polls?
Yeah, it makes a little sense. I don't think they have much of a shot, even if they were to pull off the miraculous upset of Alabama, which is, I think those two teams are way apart right now the way they're playing. But yeah, it makes a little sense. Guys, I don't watch that show. I don't. I never have. I watched, I think, part of one 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, and I'll check it out Sunday because that's the final one. But I don't watch it or pay attention to it. The other thing is, they're not going to give a non-Power 5 team a slot until we expand. That's just not happening, guys. And your brand does matter. They say they don't think about that stuff. It's absolutely key. If you've got Alabama behind your name, you're going to get a better break than you are if you're Cincinnati. It's just common sense.
So next Wednesday when we have you on right before Christmas, and next Wednesday when we do have you, we'll know who the Final Four is for the college football playoffs. So next Wednesday when we talk to you, who's the Final Four going to be?
I'm guessing it stays real chalky, which bores the heck out of everybody, and it's Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, Ohio State. Now, if the Notre Dame game, and I think Clemson wins, if that's ugly, then we've got a conversation. Maybe the Aggies get in there. But I think it's going to be real chalky. I think Alabama wins easy. Northwestern does not have the personnel to hang with Ohio State. I don't even think it should be a game at halftime. The best game is Clemson-Notre Dame. And it needs to be 14 points in for Notre Dame, and it needs to be relatively evenly matched. If it's a rout, then I don't think they keep Notre Dame. Some are saying they get in no matter what. I don't think they're in no matter what yet.
Last thing I'll touch on here with you, Bill, and then we'll let you go. Haven't had a wide receiver win the Heisman Trophy since 1991. It's a quarterback award. Why not Devontae Smith this year? I'm having trouble separating Mac Jones and Kyle Trask. I see Devontae Smith as head and shoulders the best wide receiver in the country, and I don't have a Heisman vote, but I would consider voting for him if I had one.
I don't know now, guys. In '97, Charles Woodson, who won it because they played him on like 5 plays on offense and he scored, beat out Peyton Manning. So is that not a receiver? I mean, I know what you mean. I'll tell you why Devontae Smith's not going to win it, and I'm with you. I think he's remarkable because it's a quarterback award. Hey, give him some shotgun snaps maybe on Saturday. Let him pick up about 50, 60 yards on 2 carries. Maybe he wins. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had forgotten about the Charles Woodson thing, but you're right. You're right, and I know you hammer on that one whenever you're looking at ones that people got robbed. If you ever move to Tennessee and get a show, if you move in here and you get a show, first day you want to get an audience, just bring up 97 Peyton Manning. That's the same thing here in Arkansas with Darren McFadden and his 2 runner-up finishes. Just ask your buddy Ty Richardson.
That's right. That's right.
Bill, thanks, man. I'm not on the show Wednesday next week, so I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Thanks for all you do for us on halftime.
You too, guys. Thank you.
All right, this is Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio. All right, we got one more segment on halftime. What do you want to do about that, SmackDown? What do you think we ought to do about it?
We got a little change my mind coming up for you to close out the show. We're going to see if we can make fun of Ty Richardson, which everybody loves to do. Also, another great place you can go watch the great games this weekend. If you want to go find a place to go watch the SEC Championship, it's Joe's Grill and Cantina. Head over there tonight. It is half price apps and taps after 5 o'clock p.m. today. Matty T's highly recommended. The brisket nachos are a great choice. You can get over there. Check out their Sippin' Saturday brunch menu. That's available 10 to 2 only on Saturdays at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They're at 3400 South 74th Street in Fort Smith across from Harps. Give them a call at 479-478-9600. Change my mind. Coming up next.
Looking for that perfect gift for your off-road enthusiasts? Come get you some. The largest 4x4 shop in the state with the most in-stock inventory is the place to shop. They have everything from power-based soundbars, side-by-side parts, tires, leveling kits, exhaust, and accessories for your Jeep. Need a stocking stuffer? They have gift certificates for that hard-to-buy for guy on your list. Stop by today at 2728 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith or call 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. You can also check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Christmas time is here, and it's time to see the folks at the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren. Go check out the new inventory arriving weekly so you can make your Christmas time extra special this year by purchasing your dream trailer. The only dealer that gives you maintenance for life for free. Breeden RV can service all RV mix-in models. Give them a call at 262-2418 or check them out online at BreedenRV.com. Mention you heard this on ESPN Arkansas and get an extra $500 cash back when you buy a new or used RV. Merry Christmas from Breeden RV.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
End of year savings at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto. Make your best deal of the year on the largest M7 Kubota cab tractor down to the small, dependable BX Kubota compact tractor. Come in before the end of the year and let us show you how to avoid the tax scrooge. Gray Brothers pricing and great rates on Kubota financing. Make now the time for your best deal at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto. See your tax advisor for details. Learn more at KubotaUSA.com.
In the mood for a top shelf night, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of their delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
You could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online waveruralconnect.com to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire and need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. There's no additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
Ask shelter agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Bells will be ringing. This sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas.
The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, the Hog Talk Podcast. Fantasy Football Sunday and Primetime Preps, all available on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just type Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Our podcasts are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, hitthatline.com, Anchor, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Play. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Is this Eagles or is this just Don Henley?
Oh, this is the Eagles, baby.
This is so sad because it makes me think of, really sad Christmas time, like when Kevin McAllister was in New York and the rest of his family was in Florida. God.
Definitely not one of the movie series where the sequel was better than the first one.
I really struck a chord
Back
with
to the
you
Future.
Two.
By the way, I'm very disappointed that you did not use Weird Al's wonderful Christmas song about nuclear war.
Oh, Christmas at Ground Zero.
Christmas at Ground Zero.
Hey.
Then there was the night that Santa went crazy.
That's my
so
favorite.
either one of those two would work for me.
Hey, we got 5 more days of Christmas music.
Definitely
Okay.
put the
We got
Night
plenty
Santa
of
Went
time.
Crazy. We got to play that.
I'll play.
Good.
I'll play it Wednesday when Phil's not on the show.
All right, so we got a theme for Change My Mind here. And so let's start the theme with our burger giveaway tomorrow, because we get to give away Hardee's Lunch Bunch burgers, thick burgers tomorrow. And then I'm going to give you an idea of something that's never been said about a cheeseburger or a burger or anything involving meat that's ever been said ever. So go for it.
Well, hey, but before we get into all that, like Phil said, head to hitthatline.com tomorrow, this exact time at this exact very moment. We're going to give away a Hardee's Thick Burger. Make sure you head to hitthatline.com, click on the Lunch Bunch button at the top of your screen. Leave us your info. We'll pick a winner tomorrow to give away burgers, and then obviously no winner will be given away on Christmas Eve because it's Christmas Eve.
We're all winners.
We're all winners on Christmas Eve. And then the following Thursday, depending on – there's still some scheduling stuff going on in the background as far as –
You're predicting that Arkansas is going to be in a bowl game.
Everybody here in the office is banking on it being a bowl game, which – and Tommy kind of brought it up this morning. There's 9 SEC bowl slots.
10.
There's 10.
Well, yeah, there's
9
10.
now. There was 10 with the cancellation of the Vegas Bowl, but
now you got the Armed Forces Bowl, which replaced it.
And if there is the 10, Arkansas falls into that 10 category. So when you look at it logically, you should be in a bowl game. Who knows at this point? So we've probably got about 2 or 3 more giveaways to do before the end of 2020. Like I said, head to hitthatline.com. Get registered. We'll have a winner for you tomorrow. That's the Hardee's Lunch Bunch brought to you by Hardee's in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley and hitthatline.com.
All right, so let's do it. Change my mind.
Did she just change my mind?
Now, I don't care what you say.
Nothing can make me change my mind.
I won't change my mind about you.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Oh, that is just so disrespectful for you to say something like that. Say it with your chest. Change my mind.
Okay, we're going to have a good one here because I've got a very simple one, and I'm just going to get out of the way because JT in Hot Springs, I think, has come with an opportunity for Matt from BB here to regain the nickname that he certainly did earn. So my change my mind here is that I was listening to the Morning Rush, and Ty was talking about the burger that he got at CJ's yesterday. And he described it. I mean, he was talking about, he went to CrossFit. He had a biscuit after CrossFit, which I just thought, did you say that because it rhymed and that's the only reason?
He said a lot of finish what you're doing. He said a lot of very weird things this morning. We'll get into all that, but finish your story.
Biscuit after CrossFit sounds like some sort of children's rap group or something. But
Biscuit after CrossFit.
he said he's describing the burger that he got at CJ's, and I think it had like sauteed mushrooms, sauteed onions, cheese, of course, if it's a cheeseburger, and he said it was creamy. Now, nobody has ever described a cheeseburger or a steak or anything that's ground beef related as creamy, unless it's like in a cheese dip. Like, that's the only way it works.
Yes.
Burgers are not cheese dip. They're burgers, and they're not creamy. But I'm going to give Ty the opportunity to change my mind here without ever opening his mouth, because I've already made my lunch plans. I'm going to the Weddington CJ's after I get my double barrel nose swab for my COVID test, and then I'm going to try my hardest to believe that the cheeseburger that I'm going to order, and I'm going to order it exactly the way that Ty ordered it.
Now, do they put a slice of cheese on there, or is it like a liquid sauce?
Okay, you got the double with pepper jack, grilled onions, mushrooms, mayo, fry sauce, plus tomatoes.
Okay,
so
I would never
bacon.
think pepper jack. Would never think of pepper jack as a creamy.
Well,
I'm going to give it a try.
How many sauces did you say there was the mayo?
Mayo
sauce?
Could be creamy.
There's where the creaminess came from.
But do you ever describe a burger by the mayo?
No, there is no such thing as a creamy cheeseburger. But I'm going to give myself the opportunity to change my mind. So we'll see if it works. Now, the other one here, this is fantastic. JT in Hot Springs. You deserve your third hour of halftime just for sending this one in here. He's got to change my mind of his own. SmackDown. No, he's not even calling you SmackDown. Jenkins. change my mind. Why do you deserve to be called SmackDown again?
JT, I'm saying this to you directly because I hurt you. I can tell that the chaos in the cantina really hurt your feelings, and I'm sorry about that. I gave it my best shot. I took Ty Richardson lightly. I'll be the first to admit that. And I might have taken the contest a little bit too lightly. I did have a margarita mimosa prior to that. I did have chips and salsa.
Would you say that you were cocky as hell?
Yes, I was cocky as hell. JT, I treated this as if I was The Rock at WrestleMania 17 turning heel against Stone Cold Steve Austin. I took it lightly. Didn't take it seriously, and I'll be the first to apologize for you with that. But JT, I'm SmackDown. That's the way I am. I am a wrestling fan. I am a wrestling geek. I treat everything as if I am a wrestler. And for that week and a half right there promoting that contest, damn it, I felt like The Rock promoting WrestleMania 17. So, JT, I'm sorry. And I hope you accept my apology that I did not live up to the billing of SmackDown. I got beat. I'll be the first to admit it.
Speaking of The Rock, what's The Rock got to say about it?
Well, The Rock says if you are the game, then quite frankly, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
Wow. I did. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate you having my back. So, JT, I'm sorry. I would love it if you would refer to me as SmackDown again. But now, really, I respect your decision. It is commitments. I respect your decision. If for the rest of time you want to refer to me as Matt from BB.
You know what's happened. You didn't state your case for why you really still deserve the nickname. All you did was apologize. There's a major difference.
I feel like I needed to apologize, though.
But I'm not the one who gets to re-bestow the nickname on you. By the way, Richard Smith tweets in and says he likes the artist formerly known as SmackDown.
I'd be fine with that. By the way, on a serious one, and this one just popped up on my phone for a change my mind real quick, Frank Ragnow, former Razorback, Lions offensive lineman, changed my mind that there's not a tougher guy in the NFL. Apparently, according to Michael Rappaport, Frank Ragnow has been playing through a, quote, fractured throat.
Oh, my goodness.
Last week and managed to finish the game with a fractured throat.
I think you meant Ian Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport's a great actor.
Sorry, thank you, my bad. Ian Rappaport, sorry.
Wow. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a fractured throat. Is that like an Adam's apple injury? Goodness gracious, that sounds painful.
I got it! JT says you've admitted you took Ty freaking Richardson lightly. You're SmackDown again.
Congratulations. Yeah! Mind changed of JT. I still called you SmackDown from the get-go, but it's all right. Lots of fun today, guys. Thanks for your calls and texts. And for Clay Henry, for Bill King, for Matty T, for SmackDown.
Yeah!
I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Why buy your next vehicle from Harry Robinson?